So welcome all, thank you for coming, thank you to the visitors for attending this morning. This is my fantastic family. My lovely wife Lauren, we've been together married for 8 years and together for about 15. So high school sweethearts, as we should say. My daughter, Avery, 3.5, aka Choppies. She used to have really chubby chops when she was little, but the nickname Choppies is just stuck with her. And my son, Nuggethead, named Landon, we call him Nuggethead because every time he falls over, his head hits the ground. Nothing else, no graze knees, it's always the head. So yes, family time, as Rebecca mentioned, I do work ridiculously long hours like the majority of us in this room, but as soon as I get a minute, it's fully invested within my family. Alrighty, so the business. I had a random idea going, hey, spoke to my wife, should start a business. What are you going to do? Oh, I don't know. She said, you're OCD, get into cleaning. Fair call. So I started looking into the cleaning industry about 4 years ago. I started with floor care, covered all aspects of cleaning, and now we specialise in methamphetamine, property screening and decontamination cleaning. Righty. So, as I mentioned, we do cover all aspects. That was my idea when we started the business, if we could evolve and grow and continually train within the areas that I didn't know how to do any of these listed up there. I was a project manager in civil infrastructure, so I invest highly in training within the business and with my staff as well. Yes, you can go on a carpet cleaning course that lasts 4 days, believe it or not, 4 days. Tile and grout cleaning or hard floor care. And yes, there are basic cleaning courses as well available. So we are trained and accredited in everything that we offer. And that's one big key point within my business that I'm dedicated to. So for the juicy stuff, this is a special area of works that we offer. Methamphetamine within properties is becoming a large problem. Has been for a while, but not many people have probably heard about it. It's more and more becoming frequent now as it's getting easier and easier to manufacture within houses, the back of cars, in a car park. It can be made. It's very unfortunately, the cooks are getting better, and the chemicals that you need to make it are getting easier, and you can get them from the local shopping centre and Bunnings. So anyway, I'll give you a rundown on both areas and just give you an overview. Normally, a presentation on these areas of work do take 20 to 30 minutes, so I'm going to gloss over it all and try and educate you on what it actually is. So with the methamphetamine screening, there's 3 levels of an actual screen. On a property, a structure, it could be a car, etc. Any fixed object, we can screen. So the pre-screen, that's best way to describe it's like a pregnancy test. It's positive or a negative. We go in each room, we review the best area to test, train professionals, and we'll test an area, and it will give us a positive or a negative. So that's a pre-screen. This is what it's going to be coming up in the next year or two. This is going to be mandatory within the real estate market for selling and for renting properties. The forensic screen, when we do get a positive, that's when we kick it up a gear. Then we're taking swab samples, doing laboratory analysis on them to determine meth residue levels. These levels can be as low as personal use, smoking in kitchens, game rooms, outdoor enclosures, sheds, etc. So that forensic screen determines the methodology on how we decontaminate it, which we'll go into next. The post-screen is at the end, once we've decontaminated, we go back in. I do a forensic screen again on the property. Then I bring in a third party to do another post-screen as well. This is part of the guidelines that we have to adhere to with the WA Health Commission. So I have to have a third party confirm it. We both sign off it together. Then we hand all documentation to the WA Health Commission. and to the owner of the property. So that ensures that the property is then habitable for us to live in. Okie dokie. So the decontamination cleaning. Depending on severity from the forensic screen is depending on how we decontaminate it. If it's contained to 1 or 2 rooms, the whole house doesn't need to be cleaned. If it's found within 50% or a larger rating, then we'll be advising, due to cross-contamination of people being in the house, then we'll be advising that we do clean the whole house. And then if we do have a lab, for example, a methamphetamine lab where they're manufacturing within a property, the whole house will be required cleaning, and that's not just internally, that's externally as well. So that ensures that cross-contamination from the cooks that are in there, walking to a shed at the back, walking to a smoke point at the back, it can be transferred by touch, movement, walking, and obviously the residue that's cooking. If they've got ventilation stacks coming out of the house, for example, which a lot of them do, they'll blow it outside to the community, good on them. Then we'll have to decontaminate external as well as internal. So if we go in and find a full laboratory there, if the police have just done a raid on it, if normally hazmat or fireys will remove the lab, otherwise then we will remove, and any other household items. I've got to let the local council know that what we are bringing, because it's as a minimum requirement, any household items that we are disposing need to be minimum 6-foot burial. And obviously remove any disposal of any bios as well. Sometimes there's blood splatter, there's all gnarly, not nice things in these properties. So we can come across needles, all types of drug paraphernalia. So then the decontamination actually clean itself is, depending on the levels, the most severe one, has everyone seen Ghostbusters? Yeah. Remember the Marshmallow Man just goes poof? That's what we do inside a house. A house gets de-energised by electrician. Then we go in, we spray a foaming agent, which is a methamphetamine neutralising agent, through the whole house. Doors, cupboards, roof, everywhere. It just looks like Mr. Marshmallow Man's walked in and exploded. So then we do that, then we extract all of the foaming agent up, we remove all of that, and then we go in and fog the property. Now fogging the property is fantastic. It looks like the house is on fire and everybody rings 000. So we alert the fireys of what we're doing on the day, because this we fill the roof cavity, we fill every cavity in the actual house, we fill every room. So when the electricians have removed all light fittings, power points, etc., we stick a telescopic extension from the fogging unit up in the cavities. We need to ensure that we are neutralising anything that's meth affected. And then obviously as well, if the cooks do get a tip off that Mr. Plod's going to knock on his door nicely with his boot, that they start pouring it down the drains, even in the back garden. So there could be soil contamination. So depending on my first examination of the property, I might include a soil examination test on it, but at the moment that's by physical review. And then we have to flush all the drain sinks, toilets, etc., because like I said, if they do start pouring it down the toilet and just flushing away, then some of these chemicals can actually sit in the S-bends and sit in low-lying areas for quite some time. So we've got to neutralise all the plumbing as well. And if it's a septic, we're sucking it out, taking it away. And then once again, depending on severity, it is a whole high-pressure clean of all paving outside. Could be the whole house, could be the patio. It really depends on how severe the case is. Alrighty. Rightio. What to look out for? These guys do set booby traps. So obviously we all know needles, syringes are used for the meth taking. They smoke it. If there's multiple if there's multiple light globes missing in a property, when property managers go in and do a report, there's a very high indication that our lovely tenants are smoking meth. They put it in a glass, they put it in a light globe, take the top of it like you can see here, roll up a note, heat the ice up, inhale. So on the booby traps, a couple of the severe ones are they make light globe bombs. So they put a few products in a light globe, they'll glue it all together, they'll screw it back in. As soon as you hit the on button, boom. So
I can show you how to make them.
I'm not going to tell you what products to use, but be aware, this is where with property managers, when you're going into a property, if you feel concerned or unsafe, I highly advise turn around and walk out. If you're seeing multiple products with acid containers, fertilising agents, drain cleaners, pseudoephedrine packages, I highly advise you turn around and walk out of the property, because it's not just the physical elements you can see, it's also the invisible elements where the meth residue impregnates onto every surface. So it can be actually hazardous to your health, highly hazardous to your health. Okay, so just a quick slide on what meth is actually made from. I'm not going to tell you in what order to put them in, but so as you can see, there's some fantastic, lovely ones in there that we all want to put in our body. Not acetone, formerly your nail polish, toluene, brake fluid. Neil, brake fluid. What's the first thing you do if you get brake fluid on you? Wash it straight off. It's dangerous. It's bad stuff. Red phosphorus, match heads. They're scraping it off. That's what they're putting in there. Mix it all up to whatever form. If they're making ice, MDMA, MDA, tablets. Sulfuric acid. Well, I said before, your drain cleaners. Why? Hey, anyway, I don't get it, but obviously I'm missing out. So anyway, yeah, so there's some, that's what's included. And sorry, it was a quick a gloss on it. I know I only have 10 minutes, but thank you. And if anybody's got any questions, fire them away. I was just trying to highlight the main ones and gloss over the rest. Thank you.
I'll be the one scaring people.